Hi Sarah,
Hi.
could you tell me a bit about this documentary? What's it about?
Well, this is quite a serious documentary that I want to do, or it's just me talking really, but it's about a big issue, and it's something that's misunderstood, and that is self-harm. I am a self-harmer, and I have been for a while. Um, so yeah, it's about self-harm and the stigma surrounding it, and yeah.
Okay, good. So, why do you feel the need to talk about self-harm?
Well, I've just said it actually, but the stigma that surrounds it, and it's really, I want to make this video for family members, carers, friends, people, professionals even, that have a loved one or a client that self-harms and they maybe don't understand it, and I'd like to give a bit of information about it really, and about my experience maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people don't understand about this subject. Alright, I'm sure a lot of people out there would be interested in your experiences with self-harm. Would you feel comfortable sharing your story?
Definitely. Yeah. Well, yeah, I am comfortable. I mean, I never used to be, and I used to, really hide the fact that I did it. But I'm open about it now. If somebody wants to know something, then I'm willing to tell them about it and my experiences. So yeah, I'm definitely comfortable with doing it.
Right, that's good. So, when did you start harming yourself?
Well, I started when I was, I think it was 13 or 14, maybe slightly earlier. And I found myself one day at school cutting bits of with scissors, cutting bits of flesh out of my arms. And okay, that sounds disturbing, doesn't it? And at the time I didn't realise that I was harming myself, but it was a way of getting rid of the well, just the frustration of being at school really at the time, because you're taught that you need to be a certain way. I was chronically bullied. I didn't fit in, and I never have fitted in, and at school that's a horrible time, and the self-harm was my way of releasing that frustration of just not getting on at school and just being bored, and yeah, it was a way of releasing it. So yeah, I was quite young when I started.
So, a kind of coping mechanism then?
Definitely.
Um, what other benefits do you get from it?
Well, there's a few, and I can understand why people feel fearful about it, or scared, or disturbing, but one of the reasons, well, there's a few reasons why I do it. One of them is because a lot of the time I feel I need to punish myself. Maybe if I've been angry towards somebody, and I feel that, well, like I've said in another video, when I was growing up, I was taught that you weren't supposed to express how you were feeling. So if I got angry with someone, then I felt guilty because of that, because that's a really bad thing. I now know that it's not a bad thing if you get angry with someone, well, as long as it's not too bad, but it's a healthy emotion. But so I'd feel guilty, and then the anger would go inwards, so I'd cut myself to punish myself for.
And you would feel better after this?
Because I feel like I deserved to be harmed. I deserved to harm myself because anger was wrong. And unfortunately, I mean, it's because there's other reasons as well, I still do it, but I know that anger isn't wrong now, but I still get very angry towards myself, and I feel guilty for a lot of things. I feel guilty for the world being wrong sometimes. I do suffer from really bad feelings of guilt, so yeah, it gets rid of, it also gets rid of, from feeling really tense. When you cut yourself, Well, I cut myself. It happens if you burn yourself as well, and I don't know what other forms there are. I just cut really, but I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry, I've lost track of my thought. Hang on. What was I saying?
Yeah, we were talking about immediately after you cut yourself. How do you?
Yeah. Well, what happens when you cut yourself is natural opiates, painkillers, are released in your brain, which when you first cut yourself, you don't feel the pain because and it's a bit of a rush. So I'm not saying guys go out and do it because you get high, because it's not like that really, but it is. But you do get a rush.
Yeah.
And then you kind of, I don't know, it's like taking a drug, and unfortunately I quite like the feeling of getting high. That's why I had a drug problem. That's another reason why. Another reason, I suppose a lot of people think that self-harm is a form of attention seeking, and to a certain extent it is, because you want people to know just how intensely you're feeling negative things.
Yeah, a cry for help.
Yeah, it is a cry for help sometimes with people, but a lot of people that self-harm do try and conceal their scars because they're ashamed of it. But if there's anyone out there that does self-harm and is watching this, you know, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's the way that you've learnt to cope with feelings, and the more you can be open about it, the easier it is going to be for you to overcome it.
Okay, I mean, obviously,
excuse me,
those actions of self-harm have visible effects. I mean, what's the reaction from others that care about you been?
It's upsetting. I've had a lot of people, like family, that, you know, don't understand, that get very scared. They don't want to accept that that's how I cope, and I suppose they think that I'm mad. I think people think maybe that I'm mad. You know, I'm not mad. I'm too sane.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, as you say, often.
And I think people feel guilt, because they feel helpless, maybe because they don't really understand it.
Yeah.
And fear really surrounding it, because they don't really know how to approach me to talk about it. Although, like I said, I am open about it these days. But it's terror. It must be terrifying for somebody that doesn't understand it or doesn't do it. So I can understand why I've had the reaction. I've had anger, you know, people blaming themselves maybe for me doing it when it's no one's fault that I do it. It's just my way that I've learned to cope, and it's not the healthiest way, but it's my way.
No, I mean, totally. I mean, as a friend, when you have done that, it is a feeling of helplessness, but yeah, anyway.
Oh gosh, I want to give you a little hug, David. I'll give you a little hug.
We'll hug it out afterwards.
Can I give you a little hug now?
Oh,
Bless you.
okay, bit more positive. What kind of help or therapies have you received?
Well, the first thing I'd like to start with is, like I said, people that self-harm, they're maybe they feel ashamed and a bit embarrassed by what they do, so they don't really seek help. Some people do, but some people don't, and they feel ashamed. There's nothing to be ashamed about, you know, and there is help out there. And like I mean, I've been through a lot of, not agencies, but I've had a lot of help. But you can go to your GP, who can refer you to primary care services like therapies, CBT. I've done alternative therapies which have helped. I mean, I still harm myself from time to time. Maybe nowhere near as how I used to. Alternative therapies. I'm starting to do DBT, which is dialective behavioural therapy. There's self-harm groups out there, support groups that you can go to. There's one on the Isle of Wight called the I Wish project that I used to go to, but it wasn't for me. That didn't help. But there is a lot of help out there, and you just got to find it. And you're wanting to say something. I can tell by your face. Go on.
Yes.
Fire away.
I've seen you tap a few times. I was wondering if you could tap for us, just to show the viewers how it's done. Go on, Sarah.
Tapping?
Yeah, do a bit of tapping. Go on, just a little bit.
No, because I'd have to explain the reason why I'm doing it.
We're talking about it now. Just show us, woman.
No, okay. I'll do a round of tapping.
Yeah, just a little. Just a little bit. Just show.
And I have to admit that tapping, I know you're sceptical, David.
I'm not.
But it does help with intense feelings. It calms you down, especially with anxiety.
Ah, yeah.
And it gives you a sense of calm. But I do, you know, that tapping is emotional freedom techniques. If you're not aware of what it is, but I will. How much time have we got?
16 seconds.
16 seconds. Well, I will do another video on tapping if anyone wants to.
That would be brilliant.
If you want it, and I'll call it Pussy Galore.
No.
I think it's going to go on to another.
Today, 5, 4.
Is it?
3.
Do you think we're going to be able to do another one? Is it cut out? Is it cutting out?
And go.
I'm going, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the kind of therapies you've received.
therapies, yeah. I do like my alternative therapies, and as you've just said, I've done a bit of emotional freedom techniques, which, if I can do another video. I mean, this wasn't really about that. I can do another video about that. But I also, meditation is a really good thing, to calm the mind. Meditation, aromatherapy, I quite like that. Music therapy is bloody amazing. And mantra, which is something that I've only recently got into, but it's like chanting, and well, the effects of that are quite amazing. So there are a lot of things out there that can help, you know.
Yeah, I mean, compared to 2 years ago, you've made remarkable progress. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, you can get better, can't you?
Definitely.
And yeah,
you can do. It doesn't happen overnight, and that's what I think some people may think. I used to think that, you know, why aren't I getting better overnight? It doesn't work like that. You know, you do have to put in the work, and you do have to be patient, which is something that I've never really been. The only time I'm patient is when I'm bird watching, if I'm honest. But it's the only time around animals I'm patient. I'm not patient with myself, and I'm not patient with other people, but you learn to be.
No,
you learn to be. You know, don't you? You know me too well.
You do. Yeah, I mean, you are getting better, but do you actually foresee a time when you won't need to self-harm?
I hope so. I think so, yeah. The longer I go, the longer I am on this road to recovery, you know, the more likely it is that I'm going to stop, you know, I'm not going to be doing it, and the more stuff that I'm going to learn, other ways to cope. I think DBT, which I'm going to be starting soon, is going to be a big thing for me, because that does concentrate on self-harm quite a lot.
Okay.
But it's like anything, you know, I'm not going to say I'm never going to do it again, because then if I do it, then I've failed, and that fucked me up big time. Well, I feel that I would feel like I failed, so it would fuck me up even more. It's like saying that, because I remember when I first stopped taking drugs, I said, after about a month of not taking anything, I said, that's it, you know, I'm never going to take them again, and I got really cocky. You know, and then a few weeks down the line, I bloody had drugs, didn't I? And that was the end of my world. I thought, fucking hell, I have fucked up big time.
Yeah.
So it's best not to get too cocky, really. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm never going to do it, because there will be times when I probably do. But I hope maybe the longer that I'm receiving help, and the longer that I'm working on myself, like I said, the more likely it is that I'm not going to do it anymore, and that would be great. And I want to help others that do it.
Brilliant.
Help them.
Well, thanks for that, Sarah. I know it wasn't easy, so well done.
Difficult, but it's worth it. It's worth it to try and get my story out there and give hope for other people, really, and hope for families and friends and professionals that work with people like myself.
Thank you.
No, I haven't. What am I doing next?
Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to end on a light-hearted note. Go for it. Tell me the question. Ask me the question.
I haven't even got the question wrote down.
Well, you know what it is, don't you? You know what the question is.
Last time, you promised the audience something about psychic vampires. No?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't the question you were going to ask me, though.
No, it wasn't.
No, okay. What I've got in my mind is what am I doing next? And it's not psychic vampires, although that is an idea.
It's disappointing.
That is an idea for a rainy day. But my next one, and I'm working with you on this. You should know this, David, because we're working together on this one. I think we're just going to have a chat about anything. Okay, this is my plan. This is our plan. This is my plan.
Oh.
Going to have a chat about just any old crap, like a chat like this. A load of rambles. And I'm going to upload it onto YouTube. And I'm going to call it Pussy Galore. Okay?
It's a brilliant title.
Can you explain, because this has taken me a while to grasp, why I'd want to call it Pussy Galore. You tell them why.
Okay, we want more views on YouTube, and Pussy Galore has some great connotations. I mean, for fans of James Bond, who may like that, fans of cats, they may...
and fat and fucking perverts.
Yeah. Okay,
that's the main one, isn't it?
Yeah, well, let's not underestimate the perverts. Let's not underestimate the appeal to the perverts of this.
Yeah, well, okay, but that is our plan.
Yeah, that's the experiment anyway, and we're hoping for a lot of hits, so...
I reckon we will, though, David. So if we just talk about shit, and then maybe, like, with my other films, like The Psychic Vampires, I could call it something like... What other thing do you think? This is my marketing advisor here, David.
Off the top of my head, I'm thinking psychic pussy vampires.
You've got it.
That is the extent of my marketing experience.
High five.
Yeah.
Bye.